Welcome back, fellow milk drinkers, to yet another Monday Milk Review. My name is Jacob, and today we're going to be looking at the Twix flavored milk from America. Now, some of you may be noticing things look a bit different, but I put a poll up on whether or not I should upgrade my phone or just finally bite the bullet and buy a camera, and it was a pretty overwhelming victory for a camera. So I've now got a Canon EOS M50 Mark II, something like that. It's a really neat little camera. It wasn't too expensive. That being said, I am absolutely amateur when it comes to proper cameras, so if there's little technical difficulties, I'll be overcoming them in the weeks to come. Hopefully everything turns out okay. I've always been a bit of a sucker for quality, so I've always put a lot of pride in my audio, and it's about time that I kind of put a little bit more into my visual as well. Some of you may have also noticed this shirt. This was sent to me by a fan. Thank you very much to Nicole. To you, it may have been a seemingly small act of kindness, but I do really greatly appreciate it. Let's get into this milk. Now, of course, this is one of the American flavored milks, such as the Snickers as well as Cinnamon Toast Crunch. These have been awesome milks so far. Twix is a chocolate I'm not super familiar with. It's got caramel, nougat, and chocolate in it. I think that's it. In some ways, it doesn't really vary so much from the Snickers, so I'm coming into this with actually really high hopes. The one negative which a lot of people resounded with in last week's video is the price of these drinks. $6.90 for a 414 milliliter drink. When you think about Oak, which are about $3 for 600 ml, you're looking at an equivalent price point of 2 Oaks to 1 drink, which is 1.2 liters. It's in fact triple the amount of liquid that you would get buying Oak than you would with the Twix. Now, a comment on the last week's video about the cost of these bottles and the performance of their wrappers peeling off, it did it again. Whoever left that comment, they're absolutely right. For $6.90, they need to fix these wrappers. This is crap. Look at that. I may as well take it off at this point. There it is. Well, you've already seen it, but let's pour it into the glass now.
What do you think about that, huh?
A wonderful, really dark mixture. It again has that incredible thickness that we've seen in the last couple of drinks. Smelling from the bottle, it smells a lot like the Snickers. I would say it doesn't have as much of a grounded flavor, which I believe was the nut shining through very passively. So without that nut kind of holding back the sweetness, it can just go crazy for how intense the flavor may be. Let's smell it from the glass and get a little bit of a inspection. I would say it's kind of toned down a little bit, but nowhere near as much as other drinks. A lot of drinks tone down quite a lot when they transfer to the glass, but this one's going just as strong as ever. The chocolate and caramel seem to mix really well. The caramel, I believe, has a slightly more powerful aura. The chocolate does kind of sit a little to the back seat comparatively, but let's get into that taste test. Wow. That's really boring. I did not expect that whatsoever. Coming from the Snickers, I don't think this really sets itself apart from that at all. It's a really similar experience, and that kind of makes me wonder, what's the point of its existence if it's so similar to another? Unfortunately, whilst it is quite tasty, don't you dare tell me you just died on me. And we're back. First technical difficulty already achieved.
That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
For whatever reason, Canon is not showing me an accurate battery level. It's saying the battery's full, yet for some reason it ran flat. Right now it says it's full, and I've only been charging it for 30 minutes, so time is limited. Thanks, Canon. Very cool. As I was saying, it doesn't really set itself apart enough from the Snickers drink. It's just way too similar, and for that reason, it's giving me a really negative impression. The thickness is fine. It's like the rest of them. It airs on the side of a little bit too thick for my liking and a little bit too gluggy. Perhaps you might enjoy that, but for me, it's not really that great. If you look to the nutritional information, I've noticed they're actually quite similar to the other flavors in this range. The numbers don't vary much, so I'll put those on screen if you want to compare them as well. One one thing that I am noticing is the chocolate tastes a tiny bit burnt. Whilst it's not super upfront, it is in there underlying, and it kind of distracts me from the flavors. It's not particularly great in any major way, but it's also certainly not bad. I think this does taste a little worse than the Snickers. I'm gonna have to recommend Snickers above this one, and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch sort of sits in its own league, so that one is definitely worth trying if you ever see it, if you can handle the price point of $6.90, which, let's be real, it's a lot for a flavored milk. It's crazy to think that the glass bottle of a Starbucks mocha is actually cheaper. I believe that one was $4.90, and it comes in a glass bottle. It's just so much nicer of an experience compared to this plastic. I don't think I can recommend this one. I'm only gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because the Snickers is just so much better, and the price point is so high, I can't really give this a much better rating. Are there any viewers who actually like Twix? It feels like a bit of a niche chocolate in my opinion. I don't even know what my favorite chocolate bar would be, but perhaps Kit Kat. Mars are also really nice too. With all said and done, that about wraps us up for this week's episode of the Monday Milk Review. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you want to support me here. If you have any recommendations or requests, be sure to comment those down below, and if I see them, I'll probably pick them up. Thank you once again, and I'll see you next week in the Monday Milk Review. Bye bye.